The college basketball experience, Southland Conference Preview Edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you use our sign-up code TCESGPN. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience. Southland action. Oh, I love the Southland. This has been a much improved league over the last couple of years. Last year was as competitive I can remember the Southland top to bottom, and we called that in the preseason. So can't wait to talk about it. We'll rank them 1 to 12. You are looking live at a quadruple header over here at the college experience here tonight. This is leg number 2. Go check out the Big South. We just got done. We got the SEC, and we got football coming up here as well tonight. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Mac tonight over here at the college experience. You guys know this guy. He was just talking Big South hoop. Now he's talking Southland. He is from the great state of Michigan. He is a LeBaron driving cocktail napkin having. He's Noah Bienick. Noah B77. What's up?
How's it going, Mac? I'm ready for quarter number 2 of the 4-quarter TCE game tonight. And yeah, I really respect how the Southland's just kind of woken up, especially with the resources that a lot of these athletic departments are giving to their athletic teams. And I've had the very nice and unique opportunity to be able to communicate with a few of these athletic directors, honestly, through the college baseball landscape. And J.R. Teagues, the SELA, or Southeastern Louisiana athletic director, had just plainly said, yeah, we see how the college sports landscape is going, and we needed to act. And yeah, I think you saw that, especially on the baseball front, but also with McNeese competing at a national level last year in the NCAA tournament. This conference is getting better, not only in basketball, baseball, but everything.
Indeed they are. And this guy's always getting better too. He is the co-host of the Locks and Dogs podcast, so go check it out over there. He's from the Windy City. He is Cannabis Capper, a.k.a. Mr. DePaul. CC, what's up?
Mac, it's good to be here. Good to be back in Chicago. Spent last week in Atlanta. Saw my Kennesaw State Owls, and I'm in fact Owlin.
There you go. Hell yeah. The NIL over there.
In addition to Locks and Dogs, I'm also doing conference previews over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Short 300-word articles. Every conference, just one bet that I like, best bet for everybody. About 50% of the way done.
So, there you go. Awesome. And you're talking college hoops on this channel. With
Indeed.
Jackasses. So yeah, there you go. You got a lot going on there, Cap. Bienick, how did we do last year? I know McNeese won it, so
yeah, we did pretty good.
I had a little weight on the show in the preseason. I had all the good coaches in this league on the show.
Yeah, we did pretty good because we got half of our predictions right with McNeese pulling off a sweep, right? So immediately 50% there. When in the regular season and conference, they went 28-7 overall, 19-1 in the league, and really in the conference tournament, they had a close game against Lamar, but for the most part, it was kind of smooth sailing the entire year. They had the one loss to Nicholls. I think I bet them to lose the game prior against Corpus Christi. I was like, they're losing this game at Corpus Christi, and they lost to Nicholls. But the schedule for the most part was like they play a good round robin in this league, I do believe, and they had 3 road games in a row. And then the preseason last year, we were like, they were losing one game in this run, and we were able to pick that out correctly. So the sleeper for UMAC was Northwestern State. They go 12-8, bang, 16-16 overall, but they finished in the top half of the league, tied for fourth. My sleeper was UT Rio Grande. I was like, if they finish last in the WAC and then transfer over into the Southland and they finish middle of the pack, I think that's a win for me. They go 8-12 though. I don't know if I'm ready to give myself a check mark in that box for correct prediction. And I know I didn't get my disappointment team or bus team correctly. I said Lamar because they finished fourth in the season prior. I was like, I think I see this team's taking a step back. They finished second with a better record than they had the prior year at 14-6. And Mac doubled down on his Nicholls and Saddler jealousy because he gets a job at such a young age, and Nicholls finishes third in the league. So yeah, we kind of ate shit on the bust or disappointment predictions, but for the most part, it was a pretty solid preview last year.
Damn Nazis, Nicholls. They just keep on proving me wrong. Cap, what's your thoughts on this league going into it?
Arrows pointed up, not just McNeese. It seems there's a few programs that are definitely on the come up, and it's not a conference you can really sleep on anymore. I think they typically own. I want to say they own like Tuesday night. I think is typically theirs.
Monday night.
Oh, is it Monday? Okay.
Monday night. Yeah, they load up on that Monday night window, which is smart because a lot of people get eyeballs on them.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great conference to get eyes on. If you still have the, I guess it's not the plus anymore. It's the app now. So get on the app on Monday nights. Watch some Southland basketball. Enjoy.
Yeah. Two new faces in this league as head coaches. McNeese State brings in Bill Armstrong, who Mac this guy was Will Wade's right hand man at LSU.
Yeah.
Right.
Fall guy. Yeah. So then, loyalty, baby.
It's just kind of weird in this league because I would say like McNeese maybe more recently is a more revered destination, but definitely Stephen F. Dawson I think is your best job in this league, right? And they've got a new guy too, and Matt Braeuer or Braeuer, one of the two there. Braeuer, and he replaces Kyle Keller, who that season just did not get off the rails correctly.
No, it did not. Stephen F. was a big-time disappointment coming back into the Southland. We'll go team by team. We'll rank all 1-12, 1 to 12, that is. We'll pick out our conference champion, regular season, tournament, bust, sleeper, all that good stuff. But over here at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and TCE, we're brought to you by ourselves, and that is the NBA Gambling Podcast we're shouting out today. Not going to advocate for the NBA product. I think it's dog shit, to be honest. But, hey, you know what is not dog shit is the NBA Gambling Podcast. They are breaking down all that load management and all that shit that they do over there. So go check out the NBA Gambling Podcast wherever you get your podcast today.
Yeah, Terrell and Scott are super smart guys. Love them. Love their content.
Dude, you know, I got to shout. I'm a company man. I shout out the podcast while shitting on the NBA product. Nobody better than me.
You just bet on the game. You don't have to watch them. Just bet on the games. That's what I did with the WNBA.
Exactly. So, all right, let's talk it out. First up, shout out Rick Cabrera, my guy Rick Cabrera, making the thumbnail slide to start it off. But let's go over to Commerce here. I'm not calling them that stupid name that they renamed themselves. They're Texas A&M Commerce forever and ever. They are the
put them first.
They are. I think they are.
Alphabetically, they're first.
Yeah, Texas A&M Commerce.
East.
Yeah, I know. If you're not calling them East Texas A&M,
well, no, I call A&M Commerce now.
Oh,
don't you know? I have my Wikipedia.
They were always Texas A&M.
Wikipedia says who goes first. So, anyway,
we could just call it Rob Donaldson State.
Wikipedia always right, except for alphabetical order. There's one episode.
Always right. Jared Von Rosenberg, he's been at Commerce for a while. This is year number 7 or this is year number 9 now. Actually,
okay.
They were solid at the D2 ranks. He had multiple 20-win seasons, multiple conference championships. Multiple NCAA tournament appearances. They've gone down. Like they're on a downward trajectory here at the Division I. They held their own when they first slid in here to D1. 9-9 the first year, then 6-12, and then 3-17. I'm going to chalk it up to the name change. I think it's here. Noah, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, the Chinese restaurants run out of fortune cookies.
Whoa.
That's been the way we've seen this trending.
Noah wrote that one. You wrote that one in June. Just got to break it out now, right?
Sure. I actually, Colby referenced the Chinese restaurant yesterday in the Mountain West show somehow, and that's how I remembered to do it. But yeah, like to Mac's point, in 3 years, it's been a steady decline for Commerce. 9 wins, 6 wins, now 3 wins last year for Coach Jarrett von Rosenberg's 3 seasons with the Lions in the Division I level. Last year was a league worst rated offense, bottom 3 defense per KenPom. And there's some continuity here, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because East Texas A&M or Texas A&M Commerce, you have them 26.5%, which is bottom half of the league, but they returned 2 guys who played 20 plus minutes a season ago. Evan Phelps, who played 25 minutes, shot 33% from 3 on 3 attempts per game. And then Josh Taylor, 6'8" senior forward, played 22 minutes a game last year, averaged 6 and 4.5 boards. And then you've got returning role players of Tay Mosher, Michael Sanchez Vega, and Chris Adlam. Got some JUCO D2 guys that they're going to rely on to play some big roles in the backcourt. Colin Torbert from D2 Concord was a scorer. 30.5 minutes a game last year, 21.5 points per game, 6.5 boards, 3.5 assists, over steal per game as well. Shot 47.5% from 3 on 4 attempts per game, 51.5% from the floor. And then Vinny Sagona, a 6-foot junior point guard who averaged 6 assists per game at Collin Junior College last year, along with 16.5 points per game. And then you have London Fields transferring down from Louisiana, who played 11.5 minutes a game last year for the Raging Cajuns. Ronnie Harrison is a big piece coming in for the front court from Tarleton State. Played 24 minutes a game last year for the Texans, averaged 10.5 and 4 boards with over a steal per game in the front court there. Not a bad piece at all for East Texas A&M or Commerce. Michael Falarin from St. Bonaventure only played 8 minutes a game last year, but he's a depth forward. Noah Pagodo from D2 West Texas A&M. They're a pretty good program there at the D2 level. He was a nice piece for them. Damian Garcia from NAIA Brescia. Hey, that was the conference that I played in, and this guy was an absolute star, but I'm not quite sure that'll transfer in. He averaged 24.5 points per game, 6.5 boards, 4.5 assists, over 2 steals per game, over a block per game as a 6'5" guard. So interesting get there. We'll see how that translates into this conference. And then Parker Wisenhunt, a 6'3" sophomore guard from Pratt, rounds out the portal. East Texas A&M or Commerce, I've got them in the basement of the conference once again until they show me that they can prove something otherwise. Capper, what are your thoughts on this team and program?
They brought it. The offense should be better this year. However, I think the results are going to be about the same. I think I can definitely see that, some of the scorers they brought in are going to add a bit of punch to the lamp that they were kind of lacking last year. However, I see this team still kind of staying in the basement. I just don't see it. When you're relying on some of the the D2 transfers, the JUCO transfers, kind of round out your rotation or starting lineup in this case, I really got to question it. So I love the logo. Don't love the team. Think that they're going to they'll score points, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to get very many wins. Is my takeaway.
I agree with you guys. It's hard to get on here and say that they're going to take a big jump. There's just so many moving pieces here. They're coming off 5-26 year. Yeah, they'll probably be improved, but is that good enough with the way that these other programs are investing in this league? I don't think so. So I have them at the bottom of the Southland here. Next up on the dock, Houston Christian, baby. Craig Doty over here in year number 2. Last year did a good job, man. Finished 9-11 in league play, tied for 7th. They were horrible but when he took over. So all things considered, did a really good job. He was at Emporia State as well before that, where he went 97-76. He's been a head coach at multiple different ranks, whether it's a JUCO, NAIA, Division III. I think overall he's a pretty damn good coach, and I think that he's going to continue to build this program just like his other stops with his track record here. So, Bienick, what do you think of these old Houston Christian guys in year number 2?
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think we were all over this because I was relatively bullish on Houston Christian last year in the preseason. And also during the year, we fell in love with this team and we're backing them. They were automatic, like they were an ATM.
Yeah.
And I went back to my notes last year and I got the same paragraph on Doty here. He's always been a winning head coach. He's best known as a program builder. He's already won 3 national titles. Year 1 of the Doty era at HCO was marked by substantial program growth. They were picked last in the Southland Conference preseason poll last year. They finished 7th. They went 9-11. HCU doubled its win total from the previous season, from 6 to 12, and they recorded the most conference wins in 8 years, with 9 following just the 4 wins the season prior. Houston Christian returns 2 starters and 5 total players that played double-digit minutes a season ago during the program's best season in recent memory. I'm relatively bullish once again on Houston Christian. I think this is a winning team or a winning coach with a roster that has some continuity here. Elijah Brooks, Trent Johnson, both played 27 minutes a game a season ago. I want to be bullish on this group. I think they finish in the top half of the conference. Can I tell you how? No, I don't really know how this roster is necessarily going to fill in together outside of Kylan Green. This is probably their biggest transfer portal grab from Utah Valley. He played 15 and a half minutes a game a season ago. He's a 6-foot senior point guard who's just looking for more time and more runway, and he's going to get it. I think he's going to be a star for this team. DeAndre Samuels played 16 minutes a game for the Huskies last year. Johnny Lee played 13 minutes a game a season ago for the Huskies. He's a 6'8" redshirt junior, probably their starting 5. He didn't play last year for Houston Christian. He transferred in last year. He had a knee injury. He was at St. Thomas prior. And Damari Williams played 17 minutes a game. He's a 6'5" redshirt junior wing. He returns. Everybody else is transfer portal guys. Will Wilson, D2, Western Washington. DeMarco Bethea from East Texas A&M. Averaged 7 and 4 in this conference last year. Shot 54.5% from the floor. He's a nice. If he doesn't start, he's a nice depth forward there. Ryan Bartley from D2, Malone. D2 Henderson State transfer, Nikari Egon. No way I drilled that. Membaru Mara from North Dakota. Caleb Gaston from junior college. Bryson Monroe from D3. Again, I can't tell you exactly how this team's going to succeed, but I'm buying in. I'm all in on the Doty madness here.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. One of the, if I remember correctly, from last year, this team wasn't very big, and they kind of still aren't. They've added a little bit of size this year. I think you'll see them be a bit stronger in the post than they were last year, definitely. But I don't know that they're going to be able to compete with the upper tier, with the upper teams that are in the upper half of the Southland. When it comes to continuity, I actually quite like this, the way the starting lineup is constructed. I got a question how some of the transfer pieces are going to fit in. But I definitely think the arrow was pointed up, and Noah, to your point, I don't see how it gets there either, but it seems like it's headed in the right direction. It seems like it's positive. It seems like they know what they know what they're building a program and they know what they're doing. So I'll say middle of the pack, maybe, chance to break into that upper half. But that's more on, I think, again, to your point, it's more on gut than anything else. I do kind of, DeMarco Bethea is one of the bigs they brought in. He was at East Texas last year, so he's familiar with the conference, and he's a bit, again, he's got some bulk to him, so I think it's going to help him in the post. I think you're going to see him play a big role with this team, so I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, it's almost like it's borderline mystery team because you don't know how it's going to fit together, but there is some continuity there, so you have an idea what it's going to look like. So. Terrible description, I know. I apologize, guys.
Well, I mean, they are the second oldest team from an experience standpoint and coaching experience. Guy that has a track record of winning and building programs. So I'm with you. I got them in the middle of the pack here. I think that they're a little bit less, or they lack a little bit on the bone compared to some of the teams in the top half. But I do think Houston Christian under Doty, once again, is going to be right in the thick of things here. So, yeah, I will co-sign. Next up here, team number 3, we got IDub. We got Shane Heirman headed into year number 3. They took a nice step last year over there at IDub. They jumped up from 8 wins to 19 wins. They jumped up from 3 wins to 9 wins in league play, got to the CBI. He played his career at Tulsa, graduated in 2011. So a young and upcoming coach. It kind of feels like the theme in this league. Bunch of really good young coaches that probably will get other jobs here. So, Heirman, do we continue here with the momentum here, Noah?
The trend seems to be heading in the right direction. Increased the conference win total from 3 to 9 in year 2 of his tenure. And then Cardinals did it with a top 5 offense last season. Bird is the word. And they're replacing their backcourt with good transfer pieces. I think that's going to supplement their 3 returning starters in the front court. You got Davion Bailey, a 6'4" grad senior, played 35 minutes a game last year, averaged 16.5 points, shot 38.5% from 3-point on 9 attempts per game. Probably one of your favorites to win preseason or to win player of the year here in the preseason. Jordan Pike played 25 minutes a game last year, averaged 10.5 points, 5.5 boards, 1.5 assists per game, shot 36.5% from the 3-point line, 56.5% from the floor. Jaden Williams, 6'9" sophomore forward last year, his freshman year, averaged 5 and 5. You can't ask for much more. He shot 62% from the floor in limited attempts. You got Marcus Glover coming back after playing 20 minutes a game last year. He's a 6'8" forward, going to be some depth, like another depth piece there, like he was last year. And then Harrison Reed played 8 minutes a game his first year of college ball. And then the transfer portal, Taj Stavesky is a dude. He was really good with Cleveland State, an offense that was not like excellent, but this guy shot 36% from 3 on 6.5 attempts per game, averaged 12.5 points. They're going to ask him to be more of like a point guard. We'll see how that goes, because he didn't play point guard with Cleveland State. And then Harold Woods comes in from Northeastern, 32.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 12 and 7 with 2.5 attempts or 2.5 assists per game, 32% from 3 on 2 attempts per game, shot 46% from the floor. He's a 6'5" senior guard. There's experience on this roster. There's some depth, some other transfers that I don't think are going to play too big of a role here, but returning minutes supplemented by, I think, 2 good guard gets. My one question is maybe they don't have a point guard, but otherwise, I think Incarnate were just making more progress last year. 9 wins. I think they have a little bit more.
Yeah, honestly, I got a co-sign. I love the continuity that this program's maintained. They got, I think 4 out of 5 starters are coming back. Is that what you said, Noah?
3 starters, and then 2 like upperclassmen guards.
I got you.
I think are legit.
Fair enough. So either way, there's continuity in this program. That's key, especially from a team that had a fair bit of success last year. They finished tied for 7th last year, but still 19-17 overall. Excuse me. And they did go to, and they did win. I believe they won. I think they won a CBI game last year too.
They did.
So, definitely heading in the right direction, keeping the team together. The pieces they added make sense. I can't wait to see how Stavesky kind of runs this offense. Again, to your point, more of a shoot first guy. But if I don't see why he can't play more of a distributor role, or make the have at least have the the offense run through him to facilitate to other players. So I watched more Cleveland State basketball than any normal human being should, and he definitely he stood out in that backcourt. So it's a really good get for Incarnate Word. I'm kind of excited to see how that works, how that fits together. But I'm excited for this.
Both, Cap. Midwest guys watching Horizon League basketball.
I'm all about the Horizon League. Yeah. So either way, I'm excited to see how this team fits together. Excited to see the pieces, and honestly, I think they're going to finish top 4. I don't think it's out of pocket.
Not at all. With the returning production and the jump from last year, they were 9-11 last year. That the clump was right around 12-8, 13-7. Can they improve 3 games? I think they can. I think that they're right there in that top 5 range as they continue to grow there at IDub. Offensively, they were really good. And with all that returning production, I don't see why they wouldn't keep taking a step and not compete for the league title, but compete to stay in the top tier here in year 3 of the Heirman era.
The easy way to put it, I guess, is there's only one team that returns over half of their minutes from last year. You return 3 starters from a top 5 offense. Like the continuity bar is not very high. You've got some of the most returning starters and returning production from a really good team last year that won 9 games with a top 5 offense. Like,
there's a lot to like.
There's some good things, good trajectory here for Incarnate.
And there's a lot to like over at MyBookie. MyBookie is we're over here brought to you by MyBookie.ag, a place to bet on football and basketball and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payout using crypto. So head over to MyBookie.ag. The promo code is TCE SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customer. That's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCE SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Getting your best prices out there. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 off when you spend $5 and use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action. Novig, promo code SGPN. The next team, another good program over the last couple of years. Alvin Brooks, a veteran coach here at Lamar, headed into year number 5 now with year number 5 with the Cardinal. They were in the WAC for 1 year before they transitioned over to Southland. Dude, they've been right there. They've been McNeese has overshadowed them where their success, because over the last 2 years, 12-6 in league play, 14-6 the next year when they expanded the league. They go from 4th place to 2nd place. You see it, 39 combined wins in the last 2 years after it was a dump when he took over. Year 5, continuity here, Noah, with Lamar. What do you think?
I think they got a chance to win the league.
I think they do too. He's
a
veteran coach.
Dude, it's been an unbelievable steady climb over the last 4 years for Alvin Brooks. From 0 to 5 to 12 to 14 wins last year in a 2nd place finish. He's had back-to-back top 3 defenses in the Southland, and Lamar returns 4 seniors that played double-digit minutes a season ago. 3 of them starters. So, I mean, Andrew Holyfield, the 6'10 senior forward, averaged 10.5 points per game, 5.5 boards, 47% from the floor, 38% from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game, is like the guy, the big piece for Lamar. The question is, they lose their point guard from last year and just Sean Jackson, who averaged 3.5 assists per game. They're bringing in a D2 guy from my neck of the woods, Wayne State. Rob Lee Jr. averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 boards, 2.5 assists, just under a steal per game at D2, and shot 38% from 3. He's going to come in. They're going to expect him to possibly operate this offense. And if he can't, I really don't know if there's another guy behind him. It's like 2 other JUCO guys that would be your possible backup. Like the other guy would be King Shawnee Woolhite, who comes in from community college of San Francisco, averaged 2 assists per game, 2.5 boards, 12 points per game. That's probably your backup point guard. There's not really an obvious backup point guard. But yeah, Cody Pennebaker also returns in that backcourt. He's a senior, played 28 minutes a game last year, averaged 7 and 4.5 boards. He's more of your downhill guard. He's got some size and some length to him. He's really good on defense. And Brian Knight will have a little bit more runway to have some more playing time. He only played 14 minutes, but that's a 6'6 senior guard as well. Errol White, 6'7 senior forward, played 22 minutes a game last year, averaged 5.5 boards. Jaden Bars played 11 minutes in his first season of college basketball for Lamar last season. Jenko Buljacic, no way I drilled that either, but he's a 6'10 senior forward, played 9.5 minutes a game a season ago. And then one other JUCO forward, coming in is Spencer Ezwiro, who's a 6'9" junior coming in from Cerritos Junior College. Put up 12.5 points per game and 9 boards with over 1 block. It's a really good roster that has a lot of experience. They're banking on continuity and development within this program, and that's something to bet on because we've seen this program steadily climb up the Southland ranks. So I like Lamar a lot this year.
Yeah. No, to your point, I think Andrew Hollifield might be a Player of the Year candidate. He's been been kind of priming him for several years, and it seems like the way the team is constructed, it's kind of built around him. Is the way I'm seeing it. I do question the guard play. I'm a bit concerned that they have a D2 transfer from Wayne State as their starting point guard, and not much else behind him. I'd feel better if they had like one more like upperclassman who had played Division I basketball coming off the bench. But yeah, there's a lot to like with this roster. Love the continuity, like the coach, like the direction it's headed in. And honestly, I feel like this is their shot. Like, I'm looking at the starting lineup. Like 4 of the 5 guys are seniors, so there's a pretty good chance that most of those guys aren't going to be back next year. So if they're going to make a run at it, this is probably the year, and this is probably the group. So I definitely think they're also top 4 finish. Don't know if they can break that into that that glass ceiling.
Yeah, they have an identity in this program under Brooks. Defensively, really good back-to-back years. So I think that they continue to grind games out, and I think that they're right there with these 4 returning starters. I know they wish they had the point guard position back, but it's been a steady climb. Can Brooks now break through and win the league now that Will Wade is not at McNeese anymore with that loaded-ass team? I know McNeese still is good. We'll get to them in a minute. But now is the year. It's now or never for Lamar.
Yeah.
Speaking of McNeese, here are the McNeese Cowboys, fresh off a round of 32 appearance last year. They beat Clemson. They get knocked out by Purdue eventually. The magical run of Will Wade, 2 years in Lake Charles, getting re-energizing this program. In comes Bill Armstrong, who was with Will Wade over at LSU from 2017 to 2022. He also was with Andy Kennedy. This guy is a well-respected coach in the industry. He has not had a shot yet at being a head coach at the collegiate level. He was a head coach, I believe, for 3 years at Link Academy in Missouri. But I mean,
yeah, that was a high school. Yeah.
Will Wade's not going to let and McNeese is not going to let Bill Armstrong fail. They're going to still be really, really damn good. They're not going to be as good as they were with Will Wade, obviously, but I still anticipate McNeese challenging for the league title again. And they're the team to beat.
I forgot to mention this when we were previewing Baylor because Armstrong was like at the forefront of like the defense as well for Baylor. And that's like really nerving with the Bears. Like the defense wasn't tremendous to begin with, and then they lose their D coordinator. And that was another reason why I didn't like the Bears. But yeah, I mean, he comes in the McNeese and immediately you got plenty of money to go out and spend in the transfer portal, and this athletic department's committed because now they've seen the success that can happen with a good coach, good team in the NCAA tournament. You go out and you get power conference transfers. Garwi Dual, who comes in from Seton Hall, again, very good defensive program with Seton Hall. Jacob Fredson Cole from Oklahoma, again, Porter Moser, solid defense. SMU, Gerald Colbert, not necessarily defense, but still power conference transfer. And then even a couple of guys that are transferring down in leagues, Tyshawn Archie and Carl Sharonfont. It's just, once again, buy lows from McNeese on talented prospects that were coming out of high school that maybe didn't pan out or didn't get a ton of playing time. But Dual had 25 and a half minutes a game at Seton Hall. Archie had 22 minutes a game at Tulsa. And then you supplement that with your returners. You got Javon Garcia and DJ Richards in that backcourt, both seniors, both of them probably going to be your go-to guys. They're by far your best offensive pieces. Garcia averaged 12.5 points per game, 3.5 boards, 2 assists, over a steal and a half per game, shot 35.5% from the 3 on 3 attempts per game. And then DJ Richards averaged 9.5 points per game, 42.5% from 3 on 5.5 attempts per game. Like, both of those guys are money offensively, and then just play defense. And I think that's really going to work well for McNeese once again. The interesting piece here is Armstrong brings over Yanis Junga from Baylor. And I don't think that you would only bring over one guy like that. You don't necessarily like. What I'm trying to say is, like, if you handpick one guy from Baylor, I think he likes that guy, and we'll see if he's able to develop with more, opportunity with the Pokes this season. Capper, what are your thoughts on McNeese this year?
I got a question for you. No, I know you went down, the roster that's returning. Are they bringing back their equipment manager?
No, he's at NC State.
NC State.
He's at NC State.
Oh my! The equipment manager got an NIL deal at NC State.
He's got a GA spot.
Yeah, he's a GA now.
Good for him. Congratulations, Amir.
He banked in. He banked in
Amir
high
Khan,
major,
right?
Amir Khan. Whatever his fucking name was.
The Aura.
Aura.
I honestly love this roster. They've got like a different class of athlete than just about anybody else has in this conference. With the major transfers coming in, it's obvious there's money. It's obvious that they're looking to add talent. Javon Garcia coming back for another season. The fact that he stayed really impresses me. That's a guy that you would have thought would have been at the top of any transfer list based on the season he had, and yet here he is. He's back with he just chose to stay with McNeese. I'm sure he had other opportunities, and he's also going to be one of those guys who's going to be in the shortlist for Player of the Year in this conference. So I love that he's coming back. The fact they kept that backcourt together is huge. Again, it speaks to the continuity, speaks to what you want to be seeing from a program that's on the way up. Is when you got those guys sticking around. I love what they brought in. I'm excited to see how it works under Bill Armstrong. I've got to think it's going to function in a similar fashion. If anything, they might get nastier in the D end. Given his background, so I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. So McNeese, they're 1-of-1 in the Southland Conference at the moment. They're going to win. They should win this pretty. I don't know if it's going to be easy, given the way some of these other programs are also going to come up, but given what they brought in and what they've kept, this is the best roster on paper.
Quick side note: they play 22 league games now in the Southland. They're continuing the round robin. So McNeese has only lost one game each of the last couple of years under Will Wade. I don't think like I said, I don't think they're as talented as those teams. But, I mean, when you bring in guys from, Seton Hall, Oklahoma, SMU, from a Creighton, Baylor, from a dude standpoint, they're not going to have any issues. So, Baylor – not Baylor. McNeese will be very good.
I'll add one last perspective. We just talked Big South, and another program that you can compare McNeese to is High Point, just the way that they're spending. But both have totally different philosophies, both with Will Wade and Bill Armstrong, compared to Alan Huss and the new regime at High Point. High Point's spending money on offensive talent. McNeese is spending money on blue collar, hard work, and defensive.
It's their identity.
Dogs. It's a really teams are going to struggle to score here, but where I could possibly see McNeese slipping and a possible Lamar winning a league, like we've already talked about, is if McNeese struggles to put the ball in the basket, because there is that possibility with this team. There could be a low offensive floor with the Pokes this year.
That would be the only recipe for them not winning the league, is if they're just abysmal offensively. But, they will lose more than one conference game playing 22. I can guarantee that. But they're still at the top for me.
And a lot of conference games.
And unfortunately, with more conference games, 20 was already a lot, and you were kind of sitting on pins and needles with the Pokes already. But, that's just more opportunity to slip up and ruin that large game.
Mm-hmm. Let's go over to Stacy Hollowell, year 2 at New Orleans with the Pioneers. They were awful last year. They were 4-27. It was a tough year. Yeah, I mean, he took over a tough job. Noah, any chance to take a step here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, year one of Coach Stacy Hollowell could not have. I mean, it could have gone better. It did not go well. I would preferred a little bit more continuity after year one on this year's Privateers roster. We're not necessarily seeing that. However, New Orleans has made a little bit of commitment to spend a little bit of money on the athletic department. Like I said at the top of the show, I really wanted to hit on it early. It's like everybody in this conference sees the writing on the wall in the college landscape. They are spending money. First off, I don't know how they were able to pull this off, but Southeastern Louisiana's point guard, Jacavion Buckley, comes into New Orleans. He averaged 4 assists last year per game, 14.5 points, 4.5 boards. And he's going to come in and run the show for the Privateers. I immediately think that's a step up. And you also get some down transfers in Churchill Abbas coming in from Wake Forest, a 6'10 junior forward that only played 7 minutes a game. This is like a who's our guy, Mac the fifth, who's his dad that watches the show. Like he's like that guy. He was
McCray?
Yes, Robert McCray the fifth. He's a buy low forward from Wake Forest that has some talent and ability and just didn't get playing time. And he's coming into New Orleans, and I'm relatively high on that get. You also get a Texas State transfer in Colton Benson. He stays in that little regional area, and he comes into New Orleans. He's a 6'2 senior guard, played 20 minutes a game last year, averaged 10 points. Shot 38.5% from 3 on 6 attempts per game. I think he's an extremely good piece. And then the JUCO gamble out of the portal that might actually work out for them is Kedrick Osby. He averaged 16.5 points per game, 6 boards, over a block per game at Pearl River as a 6'7 junior forward. He's mainly going to play the wing this year for New Orleans, but Pearl River is a very good junior college. And I think he's a legit piece. And then there's some freshmen here that, you got to build a program and hopefully retain these guys like they weren't able to do. I think it's a really good starting 5. And then just young, inexperienced depth is going to kill them. I think they take a step out of the basement, though. I am relatively high on the roster. And I don't know really what to expect out of Hollowell year 2, but I think he's got some good pieces here.
Did you mention the 7'4" transfer from Oral Roberts? Mathak Majak?
No.
What a name.
But sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you don't see size like that too typically in this conference. So I just wanted to call it out that they have, they have a 7'2" sophomore from who's a JUCO also. So they're bringing in beef. I don't know. I don't know if these guys can play at all, but they've got, they're a head taller than everybody else they're going to be playing against.
They're just trees,
Yeah, they literal trees. They're going to be planted in the post.
I forgot to mention actually MJ Thomas, the one returner, played 28 minutes his freshman year and was really good. Average 11 and 8. Like, I don't know how I dropped the ball on that.
I think we'll forgive you, Noah. So I like the backcourt. Buckley and Benson are going to be actually kind of exciting as a duo to watch back there. So that's a step in the right direction for this team. I like the get of Osby that gives him some length in the wing. Love that. Thomas returning okay, a little bit of somebody to explain the system to everybody else. I don't know if they have the depth to kind of like go head to head, night in, night out in this conference. With the arrows pointed up, they're going to be better than last year. They're going to take a step out of the basement. Whether it's 2 steps out of the basement, that I can't say, but I do like them to finish not last, and I'll do better than that. Maybe a single digit finish this year.
Okay,
that's a little more bold.
That is bold. I mean, it's hard to be worse than 4-27, but I mean, there's a lot of there's also just a lot of unknown with this roster. So I mean, Thomas coming back and some of the guys that they got in the portal, like you said, Sela. I think that speaks to Sela's budget issues, potentially that they lost a guy to New Orleans. So
what I will say is like I did something with McNeese similarly, like how this could fail. I'm really concerned that just one injury turns this thing something promising into an absolute dumpster fire because
that's possible.
No doubt
That's
it's
possible.
Dangerous.
Just throw some more 7-footers in there.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go over to Nicholls. Nicholls, Saddler, 40 and 27, very consistent over his first 2 years. As you can see, 20 and 14, 20 and 13, year number 1. They have been back-to-back top 4 finishes. Back-to-back third. It's been identical years. 13 and 5, 13 and 7, back-to-back third place finishes. He was also an assistant at McNeese before he went over to Maryland. Sorry,
yeah.
he was at Nicholls, then he was at McNeese, then he was at Maryland. He played at Nicholls, graduated in 2018. So he's a Nicholls guy through and through. And Saddler's done a good job through 2 years here. Do they stay in the top 3 or do they take a step back with some regression here, Noah?
I don't know. It's very tough, but honestly, year 1, transfer portal mad grab, like grab bag. Year 2, transfer portal grab bag that we weren't very bullish on. Both seasons, third place finishes. Like Coach Tevon Saddler's won 13 games in back-to-back seasons at Nicholls, and he's outperformed like expectations and across the board. And he's had a top 5 offense in both years. So there's some trust that he's earned here from me and my prognostication. The one positive about this roster is Nicholls could have up to 9 seniors in their rotation. Like every important player possibly on this year's team is a senior. What I will say is last year they didn't really have a point guard on that team, and they still had a top 5 offense. So I don't really necessarily see a point guard again this year. Trey English might be your guy. 2.5 assists game last year in 21 minutes. But yeah, like he's one of 3 returning pieces. You got Jalen Searles and Sincere Malone in that front court. Both of them played 20 minutes a game last year, averaged 6 and 5 or 5 and 5 or whatever. So you've got 3 returners that played 20 minutes a game last year, and then everybody else is transfers. Christian Winborn from Iona played 17 minutes a game. Z Hamoda played 29 minutes a game in 2023 for Sacramento State. He didn't play last year for the Hornets due to injury, but he averaged 12 points per game, 4 boards, shot 34% from 3 and 5.5 attempts a game. Their whole new regime at Sacramento State, basically, he jumped into the portal after seeing the writing on the wall there. Nick Crass, a 6'4 junior from Tarleton State, could have some run in that backcourt. And then 2 big guys from the NAI ranks for this front court. From Tennessee Southern, you got Zayden Cross. He averaged 21 points per game, 6.5 boards, 2 assists. And then from Bruton Parker, Grant Saunders, a 6'10 senior forward who played 24.5 minutes, averaged 10 and 7 with 2 assists out of the front court as well. You got a Cleveland State transfer who didn't play a whole lot last year, Jalen Rice, Jalik Dunkley coming in from NAI, Arizona Christian, UMBC's Shaden Stone, Dominic Betancourt from Bruton Parker as well, and then Kevin Pazamino from Florida, who was a walk-on. So kind of a lot of unproven D1 pieces in this portal. Once again, it's not like very pretty, but I do think you like the returning production that they have somewhat on this roster still. I don't know if this offensive system necessarily needs a point guard, but I don't see one on paper. I don't necessarily see like a big rim protector, but the defense is going to be nasty again as well. Nicholls, I think they're a top half team. It's kind of like a high floor team type of thing. Like, I don't know how high their ceiling is. Is that the correct read, do you think, Cabrera?
I've got to co-sign what you said. Honestly, this is a complete mystery team. Like, I follow again.
Years.
Again, I follow Cleveland State like again closer than anybody from Chicago should, and I'd never heard of Jalen Rice. So, and he only played 1 game there, so it kind of goes to figure. Also, I'm hearing Kevin Pazamino from Florida, not exactly a key rotation piece for national champion.
Oh yeah,
like 8th guy off the bench.
Well, Florida's not so bad. Yeah, I guess you kind of have to trust that
He couldn't see over Olivier Ryu from the second row of the bench, unfortunately.
A few people can. So, given the history, I think you have to trust it. I mean, if this was year one and they were doing this, I'd be like, okay, this is bottom tier roster, probably bottom tier team. But the fact that he's done this twice already and is doing it again, it tells me he knows how to scout, knows how to recruit, knows what he's looking for, knows how to bring it in. So I'm gonna say again, I've got Nicholls as an upper half team. I think a couple other teams might have caught up to them, but I definitely think the arrow is still pointed up here. Even if they take a step back in the standings, I think the arrow is still in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't have them in the top three, but I've been wrong on this team back-to-back years. They always overachieve, it seems like. So I think they're more middle of the pack this year with just so many unknown. And, I think the roster is talented with some of the guys that they're bringing in, but it's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of unknowns, a lot of question marks. Maybe this is the year that it's finally regression, though. Maybe finally a little bit of regression because they've overachieved big time year.
You've had them as the quote unquote disappointment back-to-back seasons.
Probably going to be a third straight years.
Probably.
I mean,
the Nazis.
They're the easy pick this year again. Finished third last year, replacing all their starters. But like I said, back-to-back top 5 offenses with not very pretty rosters. And this year they've got 9 seniors potentially in a rotation. So a lot to like here again with a roster that maybe lacks a little pop.
I'll tell you who else got some pop. That's Underdog. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em. Pick'em where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher, lower on your favorite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Get on over there. Underdog's got a brand new offer. Customers play just $5 and get 100 in bonus funds when you use our sign-up code. That is TCESGPN. We are also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing in college football and NFL with picks and props. Get on over there. Weekly cash prizes, just tracking for your bets in the app. Track 5 bets on the same type for any model. You can win up to $1,000. Use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for a 25% off your first month. Download the Rhythm and use our promo code SGPN25. Next up. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Baby, my demons, baby. Rick Cabrera headed into year number 3 at Northwestern State. A big-time jump there last year, going from 9 wins to 16 wins. The non-con was a little bit lighter than it was year 1, where he played it felt like every other bye game because they won 7 games his first year in the league, finishing 6. Last year, they crack into the top 4. They get a double bye. They do get beat by McNeese, but, Rick's won wherever he's gone. You see his 179 and 85. He was really good at Tallahassee for his 2 years there, 52 and 16. He was 102 and 30 at Lackawanna Community College. He's got a good staff. They know what they are, and they got the most returning production back in the league. Bienick, why is my Northwestern State Demons going to win the league?
Yeah, 7 wins in year 1, 12 wins in year 2, and like you said, they return some of the most production, the most minutes in the league. Northwestern State had a top 5 defense in the Southland in back-to-back seasons under Rick Cabrera, and this year they returned 3 starters. They have one of the most experienced benches in the conference. 7 wins, 12 wins, 14, 15 this year is a serious possibility. And last year, when you had a McNeese that went 19-1, you couldn't really label one of those second-tier teams as a contender. This year you can, and I really do believe that Northwestern State can contend with this roster, and it starts with Micah Thomas, your 6-foot senior guard, runs the point, 12.5 points per game, 2 boards, shot 42% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. He's going to step in for Addison Peterson, who was the starting point guard last year, and he departs. Willie Williams, 6'6" senior wing, played 28 minutes a game last year, averaged 6 points, 7.5 boards, 1.5 assists, shot 53.5% from the floor. You have Landon Yumawan, who shot 38.5% from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game and 20 minutes per game. He's a senior. And then J.C. Riley, the 6'10 redshirt junior, is going to get a lot more time to play this year with the departures. He only played 6.5 minutes a game last year. You have Izzy Miles transferring in from Tarleton State, who played 28 minutes a game for the Texans, averaged 7.5 and 3. He's a 6'2 junior guard that's probably going to start. Very nice defensive piece. That's probably their best defensive player on this roster. Justin Redmond, he was a freshman last year, played just 11 minutes with the Demons. He's a 6'2 sophomore guard. Should be one of the first guys off the bench, I think, for this backcourt, along with Chris Mubiru, who played 11 minutes a game last year for the Demons. And then Quentin Bolton Jr. comes in from Arkansas Pine Bluff, shot 3 threes per game at a 41% clip in only 18.5 minutes. He's a 6'6 senior. You have Baylor transfer Omar Adegbola, that I'm not quite sure how much he's going to play. And then 3 JUCO transfers. Chip Brunt, sorry, not a burnt chip, Chip Brunt. Kodrick Turner from Paris Junior College, and then Mustafa Loom from Frank Phillips. He's another one of those like defensive pieces, and he's a front court depth piece there for the Demons. But overall, I mean, you have to like the returning production, the continuity here in a program that's heading in the right direction for Rick Cabrera and the Northwestern State Demons. I think the defense is going to be legit once again this year.
Yeah, this team is okay. On paper, they may not have like the most exciting talent or the most exciting group, but when it comes to knowing their job, character, playing hard, playing a full 40 minutes, that's what you're going to get. This is going to be one of those teams that nobody wants to play, and they're going to come up and bite some people this year. Now, does that mean they can walk into McNeese, walk into Lake Charles, and come out with a dub? Probably not. Does that mean that if they go on the road to say, Nicholls, could they clip them? Sure, why not? This is one of those where I think like the sum of its parts is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, where all these guys kind of working together in the system are going to end up being able to get better results than they could if they were in other programs or other places. They're kind of designed to play in the system. They're kind of designed to play with this coach. I like it. I think this is a cool team. This is gonna be fun to follow, and make sure you bet the unders on them. Don't take overs when Northwestern State plays.
Yeah. I mean, Ricky's a defensive coach, man, and they formed an identity last year, and that's why they finished in the top 4. They were good defensively. I think they're going to be really good defensively again, and I think a couple of those transfers too. The kid from Tarleton coming over, Miles, and pairing the backcourt is going to be a good piece. And
yeah, he's nasty.
And don't sleep on his JUCO guys. Rick spent so much time at the JUCO level, so he's good at having an eye for talent with those jukes. So, yeah, dude, they're a contender for me in this league. Let's go.
Keep an eye on Burnt Chip.
Chip, baby. I like that, man.
TC favorite Burnt Chip.
Totally a fuck up, but I mean, yeah, that'll stick for the entire year. My apologies.
Burnt Chip, baby. Burnt Chip's gonna hit a couple threes in the quarter, baby. So yeah. You knew I was gonna be high on Northwestern State. Shout out to Rick Cabrera and shout out to David Kiefer, another one of my good friends here over there at Southeastern Louisiana. He's done a good job there, man. You headed into year 7. What is this? 4 straight years he's finished in the top 5 in this league. He does a good job of getting more out of less. Sometimes I feel like his rosters are not as good as some of the top tier programs, but they find a way to grind wins out. Like I said, 4 straight winning seasons in the Southland. Good coach, comes from the Hugs tree as well. So I'm going to be biased and pump Kiefer. So let's go Lions.
Yeah. So Southeastern Louisiana has kind of hovered around that 500 spot with Kiefer the last 4 seasons. In those 4 years, they've had top 3 offenses in 3 of them, top 5 offense in all 4. And they had the highest rated offense on KenPom in the Southland in 2022. So the offensive system has proven to be one of the best in this league year after year. And they only returned one starter, but they are going to rely on some development within that backcourt. The one starter was Jeremy Alizi, who, as a freshman last year, was a stud. Played 27.5 minutes a game, averaged 10.5 points, 5 boards, shot 50% from the floor. Like, you couldn't ask for more from, a freshman forward in the Southland. And then CJ Booker and Jaden Lawrence are the returners in the backcourt that didn't get a lot of run. They weren't necessarily starters, but they were some depth pieces off the bench in that rotation that are going to get a lot more playing time this year. Like, you look at some of the percentages, they're not great shooting wise and all that, but they will be expected to step up into some starting roles this season. Interesting here from Capper's neck of the woods. You have a Chicago State transfer, Jalen Forrest, who is a 6'4" senior guard, played 30 minutes a game for the Cougars last year, averaged 12.5 points, 4.5 boards, over an assist per game, shot 31.5% from 3 on 4 attempts. He was relied upon at Chicago State. I don't necessarily think that he should be the number one option for this offense this year, but you're not really going to need him to be the volume shooter that he was with Chicago State a year ago. And then Isaiah Gaines kind of rounds out this expected projected starting 5. He's a 6'8" grad senior forward, played 20.5 minutes a game last year for Radford, averaged 5 boards. Not a whole lot of offense to his game, but we'll see what happens. He's more of your rim protector for a Southland conference. Mekhi Miles transfers down from UAB to get some more run. He only got 3 minutes per game as a freshman last year. Ethan Pickett comes in from UIC. He's a graduate senior, only played 18 minutes a game for the Flames last year. Seth Jones from Pacific, a 6'2" senior guard who only played 11.5 minutes a game last year. Ubong Abazi Itim from Central Arkansas, a 6'9" grad senior forward, only played 10 minutes a game last year. It's a portal class that I don't necessarily love, but once again, trust the offensive system here. 4 straight top 5 offenses with David Kiefer. And development. Like, you already have, I think, a star in the making and Alizi in the front court there. I think the Lions are a top half team in the Southland this year.
Okay. Yeah, Jalen Forrest, leading scorer and leading rebounder with Chicago State, and this year he doesn't have to do the world tour, so the production should go up. He's actually going to have a home floor to call his own. Yeah. I would feel, if they could have kept Buckley, I'd feel a lot better about this team. The fact that he pieced out and stayed in conference is actually kind of concerning to me. Yeah. I do trust the coach. I trust the system. Again, I can see the rotation, see how it fits together. They do have some dudes, but I would feel so much better if they could have kept Buckley. The fact that he pieced out is kind of a bit of a red flag to me. Especially just to stay in conference. If he was making a jump up or or doing looking to go somewhere else where he'd be able to play with higher level competition. But the fact he's staying in conference, that's the concern. So I like Sela. It's a fun program, good offense, fun to watch. But I feel like there's some teams that have probably progressed beyond them, if I'm honest. So upper half, but I think you're going to see it's going to be a little bit of a step back for Sela this year. I have a feeling.
I kind of see this league going play 22 league games. I think there's going to be a shitload of teams that are 11-11 or 12-10 or 13-9, and Sela is going to be right in that clump. So a lot of tiebreakers. Kiefer will find a way. With Kiefer, there's a high floor. Like you said, he's 5 straight top 5 finishes in this league. So they'll find a way. They'll be in the hunt. They'll get more out of less. And there's a lot of moving pieces with this roster, a lot to return. But Kiefer will continue to keep the Lions competitive down there in Hammond. All right, new coach. Is this the first year or the first year one coach I think we've had in this league?
Unless you got Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Armstrong with McNeese. Yeah, what am I talking about? So, So maybe the two biggest brand names have first-year head coaches here. Stephen F. Austin, Matt Braeuer coming over from Texas Tech the last couple of years.
We mentioned that at the top of the show, Matt.
I think it's been an hour.
What? That was an hour ago. I don't remember that. I'm over here trying to figure out the slides and trying to figure out who's coming up next. So I have my notes ready to go, hitting the ads. I can't remember an hour ago. What league did we even preview before the Southland? Oh, yeah, Big South. Who's next? CT's hitting me from that car accident. So, yeah. Matt Braeuer coming over here, year number 1. He is a Grant McCasland guy. He was with him both stints there at North Texas and Texas Tech. This is a good hire. This is a really good hire by Stephen F. Austin. I'll believe in this program to get back to where they once were. It may take him a year, like McCasland. It took him a year at North Texas. I could see it taking a year for Braeuer as well, just like we were talking about with Ross Hodge. I think they're going to be competitive. They'll have an identity. They'll compete. They'll defend. What say you, Noah?
Yeah, I got a question for you too. Like I tried to do a little bit of research, but I don't know off the top of my head, and you might. Does Braeuer or the McCasland tree have like D2 JUCO roots? Because there's quite a few non D1 transfer portal additions here.
I mean, they have JUCO guys. They're JUCO through and through with Hodge and McCasland being as close as they are. So, yeah. I mean, they've been at North Texas or Texas Tech since 2018. So he's been at Sam Houston before that in 2013, and then he was at Midland. So he's been in the state of Texas. The last 15 years?
He came from he was a Wichita State point guard, I remember.
Yeah, he played for Turgeon.
Yeah.
Played for Turgeon.
Yeah. Because my biggest worry, like at Stephen F. Austin in the Southland, like you should have your own run of the mill of players to handpick compared to other programs in this league, and they're willingly opting to go D2, D3, junior college. So that was something that I noticed immediately right off the bat. They do have a couple of returners here. I do want to say that Christmas is coming back. We are going to have a Christmas in 2025. That's always good news. Because Krishan Christmas is a 6'5" senior wing who played 31 minutes a game last year, averaged 7.5 points, 5.5 boards, over 1.5 steals per game, over assists per game. Really nice piece. Does a little bit of everything for you. Extremely good defender. Keon Thompson last year was the point guard, averaged 3.5 assists and 32.5 minutes per game. He's a 6-foot senior this year, averaged 13.5 points per game, 5 boards. Last season, shot 46.5% from the floor. And then you've got a bunch of transfers. And like I said, your two guys in conference, two guys D1 are you have two D1 transfers, and they both come from in conference. Gerald Colonel is a 6'9" senior forward, played 20.5 minutes a game last year for the Northwestern State Demons, averaged over 2 blocks per game, like one of the best defensive pieces in this conference, and he shot 58% from the floor, but not a whole lot of offense to his game. And then Cam Burton, again, from Southeastern Louisiana, we've already talked about. He played 18 minutes a game, averaged 7 and 2, shot 35% from 3 on 4.5 attempts per game in those 18 minutes, with an expanded role, possibly as a starting wing for the Lumberjacks this season. And he's shooting at that percentage, that clip. He could be a really good scorer for this team, and they kind of need it because outside of Thompson and I think it's Burton as their best offensive piece. Ahmed Muhammad is an offensive-minded player again, though, like D2 West Texas A&M transfer. We'll see how that translates. He shot 34.5% from 3, 19 points per game, 5 boards, 3 assists. He's a 6'1" senior guard. Coming in from JUCO, you have Trinidad State. Latif Patrick, a 6'2" junior, put up 24 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 boards. From Western Wyoming, another JUCO, Jediminas Alisas, 17.5 points per game, 9 boards, 1.5 assists. Narit Shoti Kavanich, a West Texas A&M guy, Freshman of the year last year. Averaged 11.5 points per game, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals, shot 37% from three. D3 Trinity grab, that's Indiana, that's over by you, but Cap. Christian Green, 6'6 junior wing, averaged 16.5 points per game, 7.5 boards, 1.5 assists, over a steal per game as well, shot 48.5% from the floor. A Barton Junior College grab from, in-state Texas there, Eltramon Smith Jr., he had a good freshman year, averaged 9 and 4.5 with over a block per game. And then Harris Dar, another D3 grab from Grinnell. And then Taishik Musaka from Gulf Coast State Junior College. That rounds out the transfer portal. I don't know, man. Year one for Braeuer, and to me, there's more talented rosters for sure. And also, like, I prefer the junior college D2 routes when you're plucking not necessarily the go-to scorers for every single team. Like, now you got to deal with figuring out some roles and for a lot of these guys, and playing time is going to be somewhat of an issue that I worry about. But Thompson, Christmas, and I'm high on Cam Burton for this upcoming season. And then I don't know what you got for SFA when usually like it's your program pedigree that's able to carry the weight. This year, I don't know, man. I'm playing it pretty patient with Stephen F. Austin this year.
Okay. Interesting note on Matt Braeuer. We share a birthday.
There you go.
He's a few years younger than I am, just a few. But yeah, no, this is another mystery team. Again, they got that core of dudes that they're bringing back, but then outside of that, I really don't know how this is gonna piece together. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a year one for a guy who hasn't coached Division I basketball before, if I'm not mistaken.
Head
so
coach.
yeah, head coach. I apologize. I take that back. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, he's never been in that in the big chair himself. So we don't know what we have a pretty idea. I mean, we know where he came from. We know what he the team, the systems he's been with, guys he's been with, but I think it's kind of different when it's you who's got to be the one that calls the huddle, or when it's you who's got to be the one deciding the rotation. I don't. Yeah, I'm. They finished what 10th last year. Is that correct? So I would probably pick them around the same, maybe a step back, given that the conference has made a step up. I'm not that bullish on this team.
They're going to be an interesting team. I could see them being really chippy late and getting better throughout the year under Braeuer. McCaslin's teams usually took a year or two. Like I said, at North Texas, same with Hodge. It took Hodge a year. He had the head coaching experience at the JUCO level, so Braeuer doesn't have that. It will be, I think, a little bit of a learning curve. I like the Braeuer hire long term. I like the tree and just being from the Texas roots, but I think it will maybe take a year of some growing pains here. And Nagasocious.
Good try.
I never can pronounce that fucking town.
Nagasocious. Credit for effort.
Nagasocious.
What's the other one? Is it Sela plays in Natchitoches? Is that it?
No, that's Northwestern State.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah. Let's go over to Corpus Christi. A lot of
one of them's pronounced Natchitoches, and I can't tell you which one it
is. I always butcher this.
I know one's Natchitoches. That's it.
Colby nails it every time, no matter what he says.
Oh yeah, 1,000.
Nagadocious. Let's go over Corpus Christi. Year 3 of Jim Shaw. He took over for Lutz when he went over to Western Kentucky. Back-to-back 20-plus win seasons. Second place, fourth place finish. Good little run here. That means it's hard to bet against this program. This program's been solid in this Southland here over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, this program's it's been great. Like,
it's
you
really
look
good.
At the Lutz run, he's a Matt Painter disciple, and then Jim Shaw here.
Oh, Matt Painter disciple. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's turning into a pretty good coaching tree. And then, the Islanders, they've had a top 3 offense and defensive rating in the Southland during each of Jim Shaw's 2 seasons here as head coach. However, this year's preseason roster looks the least talented on paper in Shaw's 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And it's a bottom tier roster in the Southland. I don't remember this much throw shit at a wall and see what sticks from Corpus Christi in a while. Davian Houston, we'll start with him because he is the D1 transfer incoming here. Last year didn't play due to injury, but they're expecting him to play the point, and he's like never really been a great point guard. Charleston, then he transfers down the Longwood, then he technically, in a lot of basketball watcher opinions, transfers down to Coastal Carolina because they haven't been a great program recently. And yeah, I mean, he's never really been a great point guard, not a go-to scorer, not really a great distributor. He played 31 minutes his final year at Longwood, averaged just 2 assists per game, 6.5 points, not like an aggressive rebounder or anything like that. And that's their best piece, possibly. Like, it's him and Shagbonyo, who comes in from Denver. Drilled 34% of his threes on 3.5 attempts, averaged 12.5 points, 4.5 boards. D2 transfer from Lincoln, Frank Yetna. He was outstanding there, but we'll see how that translates. He shot 36% from 3 on 3.5 attempts. Even a pretty good, defensive forward. But again, we've got bigger and more physical players in the Southland compared to Division II. We'll see how that goes. Mason Gibson from D2 Midwestern State shot 43.5% from 3, averaged 16.5 points per game. I mean, the shooting should translate. That's why I keep mentioning the 3-point percentages. That's the easiest thing to bring over. But again, like, you're not going to be scoring 16.5 points per game in the Southland. Same with D2 Edinburgh transfer Sanker Everin, who averaged 15 points per game and 12.5 boards as a 6'8" center. Like, that's also not really going to fly in the Southland. You're not going to be a double-double monster because he was in the Division II level anyway. Then you got the College of Sequoia's star, Jaden Hare, who is unbelievable. Averaged 15.5 points per game, 10.5 boards, over an assist per game as well as a 6'7" big man. Daniel Michelini Jackson, East Los Angeles Junior College, 14 points per game, 5 boards, 2 assists. And then Jamal Ambrose, a 6'10" redshirt junior forward from Des Moines area junior college, 12.5 points, 5.5 boards. And then some freshmen on that bench. But, like, you've got 2 returners and Cam Parker and Sheldon Williams. And then, dude, I'm not high on the newcomers. And unfortunately, I mean, that's like the meat of this team. I will say that the positive things, they've got 7 seniors in expected rotation, but none of these guys have really played meaningful or good basketball outside of Shagbonyo and possibly Cam Parker, depending on how you want to establish, how this is going. But he's been like a role player on every single good Corpus Christi team. I like the program, and I think they're one of the better ones in this league the last 4 or 5 years. But I think it's a big step back for the Islanders this year.
Did Jim Shaw punch somebody? Like, why did everybody leave?
They lost a lot.
They lost everybody. Everybody left, and they had to kind of. It looks like they're kind of based on what I'm seeing. They're kind of resource challenged. So, I got to kind of throw my hands up on this one as well. It's been a good program. I don't think this is going to be a very good year for these Islanders. I don't quite understand. I mean, I don't quite understand what would happen with this roster where.
To me, this wasn't like a strategic approach to go out and get D2, D3.
No,
but again, like, you're not going to do that and build a program with seniors. They're going out and grabbing seniors. They're trying to win this year, or at least Shaw is. To me, it's like, okay, we've seen Shaw have success with limited resources. Why should we invest? Where the rest of the conference is investing, and that's an issue. You're getting caught right now by half this conference that are putting money into their athletic department.
That's a great way of putting it. That's kind of how I feel about this, is that they got caught and now they're kind of stuck with, having to fill out a roster with not much money. And that's what this looks like to me.
They are super old. So they're banking on a lot of grad transfers here that are transferring up. I like Shaw. I think Shaw will find a way to get the most out of this group, but I got him in the middle. It's hard for me to
I'm
drop
not completely killing him. Yeah.
It's hard to say that they're going to be in the bottom tier when they've won 41 games in the last 2 years under Shaw, and then Lutz had it rolling too. So
I'll completely kill him.
culture will find a way.
It stays afloat, right?
Rio Grande, the Mexicans, baby. Kahil Fennell did a good job last year, 16-15. They finished what they finished in league play. Was it 7-11? They were really good in the non-con to start.
They were 8-12.
8-12. So yeah. Finished 9th. I think
they were,
for the most part pretty good.
To your point, they were rolling in the non-con.
Yeah, they were killing teams.
We were like, holy shit! Like your guy Figure was getting out coached in 1 year,
and then they hit a wall.
Yeah, then they hit reality.
I don't know what happened to them in conference play. Well, I mean, the league was better.
Yeah, it's getting better, man.
So
it's heading in the right direction.
What do you think of the old Rio Grande guys down there?
Yeah, he won 3 more conference games in year 1 with UTRGV than Figure ever did in his 3 seasons. No offense to Mac and his former boss there, but the Mexicans liked to run last year. The Vaqueros, their tempo was rated 40th in the nation. It was an all right offense rated in the Southland. It was like middle of the packish, and they don't return any of that production. You would have loved to have seen continuity from year 1 of coach into year 2. Unfortunately, not good enough at recruiting his own players to stay, I guess. Some guys that may step into roles from being rotation players last year. No way I'm going to pronounce this right, but Quo Agua. He's a grad senior, played 17.5 minutes a game last year, averaged 6-4, 46.5% from the field in limited attempts. And then Marshall Destramau, 6'9" redshirt junior forward, who averaged 4-4 last year, shot 35.5% from deep and 50% from the floor. Again, limited attempts there. And one other returner is Jalen Washington, the 5'10" sophomore guard. Last year, his freshman year, he got 14 minutes of burn. Not a whole lot of opportunities on the offensive end of the floor there. Marvin McGee's the big one for me. He had somewhat of a down year at Cal State Bakersfield last year, but this is a guy that I really like. He's a 6'4" grad senior guard, played 30 minutes a game last year, averaged 10 points, 3.5 boards. He's a 3-point deadeye. Last year, his percentage wasn't very great, but he took 6.5 threes per game, hit him at a 32% clip. I think this year you're not necessarily needing him to be the 75% possession guy like he was with the Roadrunners, but I expect him to be a little bit better from 3 this year. Corey Cotton from Jacksonville State also had a little bit of a down year from 3. His year 1 didn't go to plan in college basketball with the Gamecocks. He only shot 30% from 3 on 3.5 attempts, but he's known, or at least came up out of high school as a really good shooter. And then Zay Blake is a good shooter. Comes in from Wagner, 6'1" grad senior guard. It's either him or McGee going to be on the ball for a lot of it. And he shot last year 41.5% from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game, averaged 10 points, 2.5 boards, 2 assists. That's your heart of the team, those 3 transfer guards. And then you got Kai Dixon coming in from the portal, D2 Northwest Nazarene, averaged 18.5 points per game, 8 boards, 6'7" senior forward there. And then Always Right from Rhode Island. And I think he was at Valparaiso possibly before that.
That's correct, yeah.
He's a 6'3" senior guard. He was really good at Valpo, took a step up at URI, didn't really get any burn. He now transfers down, but I think he's a solid piece as well. I think there's some good depth, some experience here, and then it falls off the table really quick. Like, you got quite a few freshmen and inexperienced guys that might have to play important minutes here in the rotation, but I like the backcourt. Thoughts on this roster, Cap?
All right. Well, before I get to the roster, last year in non-con, champion Christian, North New Mexico, College of Biblical Studies,
Great.
Dallas Christian.
4 wins.
Okay, this year, Baylor, Boise State, Missouri State, at Missouri State, Illinois, Austin, PA comes to the border. UT Arlington comes to the border. They only have, I think, 2. They have Southwest Adventist, Southwest Adventist, and something called CBS as the only 2, gimmies in non-con. So might be a bit of a challenge heading into that conference schedule.
The game I remember in the non-conference last year, they almost knocked off Creighton. They gave the Blue Jays a run for their money early.
That was like the first game of the year, though, wasn't it?
And Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin.
Was it Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, they lost by 3. They lost by 13 to Creighton, but yeah, they were competitive in the game.
They did beat Charleston Southern at a neutral, so good for them.
Yeah, I think this is another kind of bottom half team. They've got some experience in the starting 5, but not really any go-to guys necessarily, and a lot of newcomers, inexperienced depth and bench, and yeah, I just think there's better options to back in the top half of this conference.
I agree, but I do think the arrow was pointed up from where it was. No,
yeah, for sure. I mentioned at the top he won three more games in year 1 than Figure did in his 3 years at UTRGV.
So,
yeah. Fennell, I thought he did. I thought he did a good job last year. So, they hit a little bit of a wall year 1. I think there are some question marks on this roster. They are kind of they lost a lot in terms of returning production. They are at the bottom part of this league, but I think the Mexicans will be right somewhere in the middle, and maybe bottom half, but not basement.
So now, when it comes to UTRVG, how many morons in the chat are we going to get this year, Mac? That's the real prediction.
Less. They can all kiss my ass. It's a compliment. Let me know if anybody else is breaking down your roster out there. Let's pick it 1 to 12. We'll go backwards.
All right.
I got Commerce in the basement again.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me get mine up. Sorry, I made notes this time. I want to be prepared. No, who do you have in the basement?
I have East Texas A&M or Texas A&M Commerce as well.
Okay. All right. We're 3 for 3 then.
I got New Orleans 11.
So I went New Orleans 11 not because I really liked that starting 5. Again, they have no depth. They spent all their money on those a handful of players, and then one injury just sends this team's season into the drain. And I'm not going to predict it, but I just think that's the lowest floor next.
Okay, I'll put Corpus Christi at my 11.
Mac, who do you have 10th?
The regression year. Nicholls.
Wow.
This next clump of teams, like I said, okay, they're going to play 22 games. I got them finishing 10th. I think they're going to go maybe 2 games under 500. Yeah. I don't think they're going to go 6-16. I think they're going to go 9-9 or 10-12 maybe. I think there's going to be a lot of teams between 10 and 12 wins here. Nicholls has been on the right side of a lot of close wins over the last 2 years. I think finally some regression hits with this new group again with Saddler.
Okay.
They're going to be my bus team for a 3rd straight year.
Yeah, you had a shocker at 10. I'm having a shocker at 10. Stephen F. Austin.
Oh, you took my shocker at 10.
I know he comes from a great coaching tree in McCaslin, but you have a pretty good program that you're now recruiting to, and just me, in my opinion, you have more of a player pool to pick from than just D2, D3, NAI, JUCO.
You should, yeah.
And it seems like it was voluntarily or willingly done, and that wouldn't have been my approach necessarily. And it's you picked a ton of stars from their teams, and now you got to iron out some roles and some playing time issues. So, yeah, I wouldn't have done that to myself. But yeah, year 1, we'll see how it goes for SFA.
Okay.
And Cap had Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, at SFA, you had
you both had SFA at 10.
I apologize for not chiming in there, but yeah, I thought, SFA is definitely my 10th.
Okay, at number 9, I got the Mexicans at 9. I like I said, man, I don't think they're terrible. I just think that there's better options here in this league. So you're Kahil Fennell, I got him finishing 9th.
Yeah, I got Rio Grande 9th as well.
3 for 3. Mexicans finished 9th in this league.
All right, at number 8, I think this is where I'm going to go Stephen F. Stephen F., year 1 of Braeuer. I think it takes a year to get his culture in place. Stephen F. finishes 8th for me.
8, I got Corpus Christi. The rotation's like nice on paper with 7 seniors, but again, kind of same issue with Stephen F. Austin that I don't really love to buy into. Yep. Just a lot of stars from D2, D3, JUCO that now you've put yourself in a position to possibly have to iron out some stuff in the locker room and playing time stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, it's my 10, 11. Okay, at 8, I will put Houston Christian.
Okay. At 7, I got Corpus Christi. So I got 2 big brands here in the bottom half. Corpus Christi and Stephen F.
7, I got Houston Christian. I mean, I want to be all in on Craig Doty, but this is about as high as I could put him. He's a 3-time national champion head coach. They were picked last year, and they finished 7th. They doubled their win total from the previous season, and they returned 2 starters, 5 total players that played double-digit minutes, and their program's best season in recent memory. So I want to be high on Houston Christian, but this is as high as I could put him.
Okay. At 7th, I'm going to go New Orleans. I think they start off well, but they pick up an injury and fade. So I think you have a hot start followed by a cool finish.
I went Houston Christian at 6. That's a jump up from last year. Crawl into this top half here. Doty, year number 2. Let's go.
I have at 6 Southeastern Louisiana. 4 straight top 5 offenses. They returned 3 role players. But on paper, it's just not one of his best rosters that David Kiefer's had. So I got Sela 6th, or SLU, whatever they prefer.
Noah, I also have Sela at 6.
I went Sela 5. Kiefer finds a way to finish in the top 5 once again for a 5th straight year. So I keep backing my Lions, man. They're good at home, and Heirman, they got a good home court advantage.
They do, for sure. At 5, I've got Incarnate Word. I think their program's headed in the right direction for sure. They returned 3 starters from a top 5 offense.
Okay. At 5, I've got Nicholls.
5, you got Nicholls. At 4, I got IDub. Incarnate Word continues to this would be back-to-back top 4 finishes for Heirman year 2. Doing a good job there. If
I was betting in November, there would be no way I'm running to the counter to back this team, but I've got Nicholls 4th. Sadler's proven me wrong in back-to-back seasons. They've had 2 top 5 offenses in both of his seasons so far. I don't see it with this roster, but they've got 9 seniors, so that's definitely a positive, and he's proven me wrong twice. So I'm going to have him in the top 5. I got Nicholls 4th.
Okay. My 4th is Northwestern State. Defense, culture. They finished 5th last year. They make a small jump up to 4th this year.
Yeah, tied for 4th last year.
Oh, was it?
No. There was like a 3-way tie, I believe.
Yeah, you're correct. I apologize. I was reading incorrectly.
Who'd you take?
4th, I had
Demons.
Northwestern State.
Yeah, they were finished tied for 4th last year.
Yeah.
There was a big clump last year. It's probably going to happen again.
There's going to be a clump this year too.
There's going to be a clump right there. Number 3, I got Lamar, Alvin Brooks and company. I think they're right there to be a contender. I like this team a lot.
Number 3, I have Northwestern State. A lot of what Cap said, and they've had back-to-back top 5 defenses under Rick Cabrera, and they returned 3 starters, and they have the most experienced bench in this conference, ex McNeese.
Okay. We're 3rd.
Yeah.
I've got Lamar finishing 3rd. Take a small step back from last year. They finished 2nd. But again, I don't think that's a bad. I don't think if a 3rd place finish is a disappointment in this conference. I think if anything, it kind of signals like that the conference has gotten better.
You got my Demons at 2. Rick Cabrera, they pop up. They were bottom half year 1, then they popped up top 4. Now they get to second. Right there to win this league. Let's go. Let's go Demons.
I have Lamar. Back-to-back seasons of top 3 defenses, and they have 4 seniors back that played double-digit minutes a season ago. I just think that this program's headed in the right direction under Alvin Brooks, and they won 12 games or 14 games last year, whatever they did, and I think they're going to be even better this season.
Okay. At second, I've got Incarnate Word. I love the experience. Love the quality that they've brought in, the quality that they've kept, and the backcourt looks stacked to me. The front court looks solid. I really like the direction this program is heading, and I kind of can't wait to watch this team. So they're my second place finisher.
McNeese sweeps.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. McNeese still has all. They have the best dudes. So
they do.
McNeese won.
Do they win the tournament?
Is the tournament still in Lake Charles? I think it is.
Well, I think it's at the 1 seed, right? So it would be in Lake Charles, presumably.
Hang on, let's find out.
That league is rigged for McNeese.
And they've got the bracketed format.
Yeah, they got a double bye and they have home court. I mean, what the fuck is this?
As it should be rigged for your top seeds, top teams. You want those guys in March.
Yeah, it's still at the Legacy Center in Lake Charles, what it says.
Oh, really?
I think no matter what, it's in.
I think it is. I think you're right.
Okay. Like this is a rigged thing for Will Wade got to sing rigged on the way out. What the hell's going on in this? This is a crooked league. This old South.
Yeah, it was in
Lake.
Good.
Will Wade ain't there anymore. Northwestern and the Demons are going to get it done. They went toe to toe with McNeese. McNeese blew it open at the under 8 timeout. Because McNeese was really goddamn good last year. Armstrong's not – he's going to get picked off in the tournament because this is a rigged bracket. This is ridiculous.
In 2023, it was in Lake Charles, and Texas A&M's Corpus Christi was the top overall seed. So,
this is rigged.
It is rigged, yes.
Rigged.
We'll host it. No, we're happy to host.
What kind of voodoo's going on here in this Southland with Lake Charles? I mean, what did Will Wade do on it? How did he get this guy? He's not even the coach anymore.
You got to put the ball in the bucket, and they might have some struggles with it, but I still think it's the best defense, best guard duo in the conference. I got McNeese winning the tournament.
Okay,
on their home floor.
I'm gonna go with Lamar. I think it's that group. This is their last chance together.
I like that pick too.
Yeah. This is their last chance to get it. So I think Lamar comes up and clips McNeese in the final.
Very good pick.
It feels like you got two veteran, or actually 3. You throw Incarnate Word. You throw Northwestern State, Lamar, and Incarnate Word. You got veteran groups that get another crack at this McNeese team on their home court, even though they haven't even won the regular season yet. This is ridiculous.
It's gonna be a fun conference. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, dude, this conference used to suck. This conference used to be like Stephen F. Literally, when Underwood was there, they would go undefeated every year because the teams were awful in this league. They've, to Noah's point, at the top of the hour, or whatever hour we're in of the show, they've all invested. They've all increased their program and their buy-in. So, this could be a fun league. Sleeper and bus. Bus is Nicholls for me. I'm going back to the well. They're going to fall off eventually. I'm sick of this.
So based off of last year's standings, bust is Corpus Christi for me.
Sorry, apologies.
They finished tied for 4th, 12-8. Go ahead, Cap.
I was going to say Corpus Christi is also my bust. I was going to co-sign.
Picked to finish 8th.
I got him picked to finish 11th.
Yeah, there you go.
Sleeper, Northwestern State finished 2nd for me.
For me, it was the Incarnate Word. They finished 7th last year. I got them finishing the 3rd.
Yeah, I've got Incarnate Word as well. Cap and I in lockstep. Last year they were 9-11. They're getting 12+ wins this year.
Oh yeah.
Did we give everything out? I think we did.
Yes, we did.
Dude, an hour 40 on the Southland, baby.
That's awesome. Great job, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us if you did.
Let's go.
It's what you do is you turn down the TV when you're watching Monday Night Football and turn up TCE. That's how you approach it.
Oh, yeah. The late night show, it'll be here in less than 2 weeks. So opening night 2 weeks away. Stay tuned. We got like 18 previews in, I think now, something like that. So we got 13 to go and 13 days. So, yeah, make sure you got all your notifications turned on. Go check out the Locks and Dog podcast with Cannabis Capper and Company. And at Cannabis Capper, all his good work on the internet. So yeah, he's got a good shit going on in the Windy City. Go check out Noah Bienick at Noah B 77_. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. I think we're gonna do football next. Stay tuned. Turn on your notifications. You got episodes dropping left and right. I'm going with the win, baby. So. This is the college basketball experience. Stay tuned. There will be another episode. It might be basketball, might be football. Welcome to the experience organization. Let's go. Cheers, everybody. And we are out of here. The Mariners won up. Hit that game.
Really?